Welcome to Persephone's Tavern.
Alright everyone, welcome back to Ivila. I am your DM, Trevor Trent. Joined as always, I have Hayden Poindexter,
Galil Orminder.
Austin Boyette,
Krisk and Galil.
Nick Lloyd,
Yuriael Gloomraven, also known as the Red Mask.
and Andrew Goebel.
Asimir Ashford, your local spell slinger.
Alright, welcome back everyone. Just want to jump right back in it? Let's do it.
Yeah, sure, let's go for you.
Okay. Last we left off, we entered the continent of Ivila on the world of Gaia and met for the first time four wayward adventurers, Krisk Ultarchus, Yuriael Gloomraven, Galil Orminder, and Asimir Ashford, as they were brought together for the first time with a common problem. Each of them had a reason to visit the town of Dragon's Breath, at the foot of Bahamut's spine. However, their entry was barred at the gates as the guards quarreled with a bulky wagon convoy over their custom, refusing to allow any to pass until the ordeal was settled. They attempted to intervene in the dispute, learning that the town had been especially vigilant in searching for magical contraband, and the convoy seemed to be outright refusing a search, causing the cascade of delays they were all experiencing. Aside from arguing with the owner of the convoy about the ethics of their dilemma, they found little option but to wait. So they moved away from the gate and turned their attention to the carts themselves. While Yuriael slipped out of sight to snoop at the cargo they carried, the rest of the party introduced themselves to some of the other members of the convoy. Starting with the second cart, they met a halfling woman, Amelia, and her son, Edgar. After talking with them for a while, they learned that the convoy traveled all over Sarusia, selling their eclectic merchandise to local shopkeepers. As the conversation winds down, some of the party trail off, but not before Edgar introduces the party to his pet stoat, Niles. Meanwhile, Galil overheard a pair of local teenagers talking about a secret passage bypassing the gate. After speaking with them for a minute, they agreed to show him the way. As Galil returned to the rest of the group to reveal what he had learned, Yuriael had been busy investigating the carts. He found a hidden compartment beneath the bed of the second cart. Concealed underneath the wagon, Yuriael wedged a dagger beneath the planks and waited for an opportunity to break open the compartment. As Galil sparked an impromptu sermon to pull the attention away, Yuriael broke the planks and discovered a collection of items belonging to a novice wizard. Unsure of the legitimacy of the items, he left them alone and returned to the guards to reveal what he had discovered. Now all gathered back together, Galil revealed what he was told of the secret passage. Returning to the teenagers, the party found them waiting at the cleave in the side of the canyon, just big enough for the group all to fit into. They explain how to navigate to the other side, but refuse to go inside for fear of some unknown creature they heard in the darkness. Bolstering their courage, the party decide to try their luck. Guided by light emanating from Galil's hammer, they pressed into the cave. Scouting ahead, Yuriael quickly found the next passage above, with strands of spider silk sparsely clinging to the passage walls. They climbed up and pressed on, soon finding themselves in a widened chamber face to face with a large spider glaring back at them. Wasting no time, they all rushed the creature. With a mighty swing of his great sword, Krisk bisected the spider in one blow, prompting the arrival of another spider. As it rushed from the shadows towards Krisk, a readied burning arrow from Yuriael sent the beast reeling back in a flash of fire. Victory remained out of reach, however, as swarms of baby spiders fled from the back of their burning host, frantically attacking them all. In a frenzy of flailing chaos, they desperately began killing them off as they continued to deliver bite after bite, before Galil conjured forth the eerie sound of a distant bell, causing the remaining spiders to erupt in black flame. Now safe, the party dusted themselves off and found their way out of the cave, emerging further up the road from the gate, the sound of the town in the distance.
Did we go back and get the children?
They were gone when we went back. They had went back to camp. They were at the gate.
Welcome.
Yeah, they weren't concerned with clearing the way. They did want.
Well, we did clear the way, but we went back and they were gone.
So we are at the mouth of the tunnel on the correct side of the cave.
Mm-hmm. And all that's between you and the town is a road leading up the hill.
About just a couple hundred yards.
Yeah.
I did see deeper in the cave there's quite a big nest of these spiders. If we ever have to come through here again in the future, we might need to take note that this cave is definitely filled with spiders, including at least one that is much, much larger than the ones we've faced here today.
Who's been injured?
I'm completely fine physically.
And mentally?
I hate spiders.
No.
Yeah, if I remember, I think you were the only one really getting. Yeah,
I think I
in the heal. Somebody healed you.
Yeah,
Galil healed you.
Okay, well, I mean, we could... I say, if we're going to go through an additional task of clearing this out, maybe we should see if there's a reward for it in town.
Or perhaps when we're more better suited for it, because I believe 2 of us nearly died walking through that place,
I
being
think
swarmed by a million of those little fuckers.
something I noticed in the caves is the webbing itself is extremely flammable. Not enough to catch fire and ignite the whole cave, but if we did prepare ourselves in town, we could maybe find a way to deal with them all at once.
How close is this cave to the road?
I mean, it was a really short cave. He's talking about some chambers he found on the offshoot. You can go deeper into the mountain.
But I mean the mouth of the cave to the road, where we stand now.
How far is it?
Yeah,
Like it just comes out of a.
is it like right next to
It's like a little offshoot. Like there's like a crack in the wall that you guys slip out of. It's pretty innocuous to look at.
I feel like it would be unjust to leave this unchecked. I mean, sure, we might go get a little bit more prepared, but I fear for the travelers, getting waylaid by such a creature. I mean, we're 4 able-bodied men, and we had a problem with it, and I would feel bad if...
This
something
cave
happened.
is hidden
That's what
for
I was-
all intensive purposes. I see no reason we need to rush into this.
Maybe there could be a way to block whatever offshoot that you found where you saw all those eggs or something. Maybe make it a little bit
Still
more
a mouth
secure path.
mouth on the other side, though. I don't feel really great about slipping through this passage and avoiding the usual routes.
So are you saying we go back down through the cave and go...
I'm just saying I don't feel great about it.
Okay, well, you can feel bad when we get to the tavern. Well, I'm heading to the tavern after this. I need to find a room for me and Holgrath.
I would feel better if we took care of this spider.
Hey,
see
you
it's-
guys have fun. I'm not going back in there.
As Asimir begins walking up the hill towards the town.
Let's plan in the town accordingly.
Sounds good to me.
If we run in half-cocked, we're no better than spider food. You did not see how big that thing was.
Seeing as how we're on the right side of the gate, incorrectly, we should probably try not to be seen by any of the guards.
I think we will have no problem with the guards.
Okay, that's vague.
I've been on quite the journey to make it back home. I'm quite tired, and as we grow closer to our final destination, I think we should just push onward and get up here to this town.
Onward!
My home is Bahamut Spine. It's a very short distance from here.
Yep. All right. As you guys begin walking up the hill towards the town, you're getting closer. You can start seeing the silhouettes of buildings and things as these bluffs rise in the distance. As you get closer, you see coming down the road a pair of horsemen, cloaked in all black. It seems as if they're coming at a pretty fast pace. As you move out of the way to not be trampled, you all see the glossy black visors that they are wearing.
These
that
visitors?
cover all of their face, all but their mouths as they pass. So it's just like the top part of their head, and then a cloak, a hood up over it. And as they pass, you notice a singular red eye gleaming at you. As one of them turns to look at you, and you see the single eye kind of like periscope over and lock in on you guys as they go by. But they disregard you and race towards the gate.
I give him a wink.
Yeah, Yuriael, you recognize them instantly as official inquisitors for the Surusha capital. They must have some sort of deployment out here for something.
Odd-looking fellows.
What's up with the red eye?
Yeah, it was a little creepy.
They'll get mine.
Would you like to make anyone like to make a
Make a
reconnaissance
religion check.
Yeah, seriously.
I want to make
You can make a history check if you like to.
Can I make a religion check?
Sure.
Could I make it?
Specifically, what are you trying to find out religion-wise?
There's any demon I would know that could
Okay.
possess someone and give that sort of effect?
You got a 14 for Arcana.
Okay.
I had a 13.
Got an 8.
8. Okay.
12.
12. What did you get, Asimir?
13.
13. Asimir and Krisk, it kind of both occurs to you that it could be that their visors are some sort of magical item that gives them some sort of extra senses. And then Chris, you remember that Carvander, especially, its mages are renowned for divination magic. So it could be that visor gives them heightened senses where they're able to detect things that people may want to keep hidden.
Sure.
Like magic.
Like magic.
One eye between two men.
Well, they both had one. Just only as they're coming down in pair, the one closest to you guys looked to see who was walking up the road. But, they didn't stop. They just kept going towards the gate.
Let's get into town.
So, let me just give you guys a little history about the town. Ooh. So, Dragon's Breath is a sprawling town nestled between 4 soaring bluffs that tower over the sluice way. As you climb the persistent sloped road leading towards the town, you begin to hear the sounds and smells of civilization guiding you in. A wave of chatter and the distant pings of a blacksmith's hammer washes over you as you approach a busy bazaar. Bathed in shadow from the bluffs towering above you, you see a field of tents and wagons, arranged in a gridded system that from a glance looks like chaos, as merchants and citizens navigate this sea of commerce with apparent ease and familiarity. High above you, you see the walls and eaves of structures built on higher tiers of the bluffs, wreathing the crossroads within further expanses of the town, residential areas and places of industry. At the peaks of the bluffs, 3 wide and durable suspension bridges can be seen providing a means of travel between the top of the 4 bluffs. The distant echo of a chapel bell rings from above. You know that though the heart of the town congregates near the bazaar, the 4 districts at the peaks hold the politicians and the academics, soldiers, and the priests. A web of roads and paths and stairs make traversing the verticality of the town easier, and most places within town can be reached within an hour. Carved into the sides of the 4 bluffs above the bottom tier are the forms of 4 distinct giants, 30 feet tall and depicted as though they bore the weight of the bluffs on their backs. Yuriael, you've likely been here once or twice on a job, but the rest of you, this is your first time here. Even Galil, last you were here, this was nothing more but a verdant grove with a small and single road taking you to the mountains. The succession of Sarusha from Alexandria was still fairly new, and the lines were still being drawn on the map. They had only just begun construction on the gate, and the attached village was little more than a prospector's camp. Now before you, a rich, bustling community filled with a mix of elves, men, gnome, and dwarf, embracing a reverence for giants, as was custom in Carvander.
You say we're coming up on the bazaar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first thing you come into is this almost like tent city wagons and things that are just clustered at the first entry into this town.
So from where we stand, how many people can we actually see?
Give me a perception check.
17?
Just in line of sight, you see several hundred. But there could be, easily 500 people just mingling about their daily business. It's starting to be kind of sunset, so there's like this amber hue that's kind of raised over everything that's not already covered in shadow. But like everything's real dark because you're at the very bottom tier. Very little sunlight is peeking through these 4 bluffs. So it's real dark. It kind of gives you like this seedy kind of market low town vibe. But there's so much money going through this spot that it's almost like it's too much commerce for this town to handle, but they've kind of figured out how to just live with it because of how it's functioning.
Yeah, just located at a prime spot geographically. But I'm good on supplies. We should probably look into finding a place to stay. I'm not sure if you 2 are interested in staying with Yuriael and I.
Well, I was trying to find a place for me and Horgrash, because of how late it was getting in the line. I still have to wait on mine. I mean, I had assumed back at the gate, probably still waiting on inspection since the Inquisitors probably just got there. So I'm here for another couple hours until he gets into town. And I was going to get us a room somewhere maybe, I don't know, up mountain. I'm trying to think like downtown, uptown.
Can I go to the nearest stall and just talk to the patron?
So you see all sorts of commerce, and it's very much like a craft fair in a way. Everyone's very specialized. Like this guy's doing all these jewel necklaces, and this guy's, selling, crafted metalworks, and this guy's got clothes, and this one's selling fish, and they just kind of parsed out into, the food's over here, incidentals over here, blah 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 blah. Like you see, like it's very confusing at first, but there is a system at work. So what is it that might appeal to you most?
I just wanted information. I just wanted to find the nearest stall and
give me an insight check.
18.
All right, you're looking around and you see friendly enough looking halfling woman who is like standing on a box in front of her little stall and is showing off these hand-carved little picture frames that she's made.
Is she with a customer?
It just looks like she's like showing off this picture frame.
I was just trying
Come
to
right
check.
up.
Yeah, very low price, handcrafted. You won't find a better quality.
Excuse me, lady. Could I ask for a moment of your time?
Certainly. Would you like to look at my wares?
I apologize, but I have no use for such things. I'm simply looking for a place to sleep tonight. Would you know of an inn in town?
She looks quite sullen.
Yeah.
Oh, just another passing through, I suppose.
I surely couldn't afford such beautiful wares.
You want the Ogre's Rest Tavern? It's where everybody goes.
The what rest?
Ogre's Rest.
Ogre's Rest. Sounds wonderful. Thank you, dear lady. I'll try to send some business your way.
No finer quality. It's a maple. And she like
Maple. How much? Incidentally, how much are they?
So this one here, it's a 4x6 frame. It's 10 silver.
They're paintings?
No, frames.
Just
But they're like handcrafted filigree in the frames, and they've got like a nice finish on them.
Galil is just sort of wandering through the middle of the bazaar, looking around, half bewildered, half amazed at what this town has become, and sort of wondering if all of this change has came to Dragon's Breath, how much change has came to his own home since he left.
You feel as if while you're kind of walking around looking at all this, you feel like no matter where you look, you always see one of those giants staring back at you. And it's got like this like intensity to the way it's holding up the mountain, but keeping this ever watchful vigil over the city.
I'll
over the
say
town.
a short prayer to Aliclus in Giant's tongue.
Oh, you speak giant.
Ooh.
Very cool.
In town, do I know where me and Horbrash were going to go make the delivery to?
I would say you do, but you don't have the shipment with you.
Right. I was just thinking of a place where I know I can meet up with Horbrash after I get like the rooms.
Gotcha.
I look over to Krisk Targus and I say, "You go secure our tavern for the night. I'm going to look around, see if I can gather any information on our friend, the roving orcs."
Fair enough.
Is there anything else other than they're a band of roving orcs? I need to maybe something that would help identify them.
Yeah, I doubt they would have come this way exactly.
Your last lead that brought you here was that you heard there was talk of a band of hunters that were like, poaching. I mean, essentially poaching, killing off way too much game in the hunting lands, and that's kind of how you guys got the idea that could possibly be connected.
Okay. So while you go to the tavern, I'm gonna look for some local hunters and gather information about that lead.
Okay.
Actually, Chris, would you mind if I joined you on that?
No.
To the tavern?
No, not at all. I'll lend an extra set of eyes in this bustle.
I'll come too, because as we get closer to my home, I feel less and less inclined to get there.
Sounds like some family business.
Yeah, this is way, way more people than I am accustomed to, so just gonna try to keep my head down and bustle through everything.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Sarusha. Like, you met up with Yuriael, like that was.
I was gonna get in trouble with
But yeah, this is a pretty decent town. Probably getting close to 3,000 people.
I've come quite accustomed to this amount of people in Alexandria, so just follow me. I think I see the way.
Lead the way.
You have the directions to Ogre's Rest.
So I just
how about we'll give you a survival check with advantage.
You gotta survive in this time.
Try to figure out this place is.
Hey,
Pretty good.
22.
Okay, so as Yuriael slips off into the crowd on his own to begin gathering info, you guys begin looking for this tavern, and as you meander through this maze of wagons and stuff, you work your way through it and you get to the other side, and you see as you guys get closer to where the widened section that everyone's congregated for the bazaar starts to narrow into a road, and it's lined with buildings that go into the side of the wall. It's very, very much how downtown is here. And as you're getting into these buildings, you finally come to where she said that you would find the tavern. It's
past this choke point to another crossroads that widens out. And across from this crossroads where you see these paths that go up to the second tiers of the town, there is a little like U-shaped ring of houses or buildings that are up against the bluff directly ahead of you at the crossroad. And in the middle of that, you see just a wooden sign that's dangling real low that says Ogre's Rest in like Old English. And you start walking up that way.
As we're walking down this road, I want to kind of point back to the giants that we saw and kind of give a little speech about the relationships that dwarf have to giants and the reverence that, you know, lives in this place for them. Just kind of giving a little mini sermon as I'm walking.
Yeah, what is the significance between the giants and the bluffs and this town?
You can give me a history check, and you can give me a religion.
Hey, nice.
14.
I got a 20.
Alright, so for Galil, you start preaching, and it's real busy back and forth. You get some people that stop and listen, but for the most part, people are real receptive. But as you do, this one guy kind of walks by and scoffs, and he goes, "Yeah, go back up to the chapel, fucking nutcases," and he just walks off. And then one of the people that was listening to you kind of looks, and he goes, "Asshole," and then kind of catches herself, and is like, "Oops."
Takes all kinds.
But for your history check, what was the question again?
I wanted to know the relationship between the giants and the bluffs and maybe their role, what it portrayed.
Okay, so historically, giants used to inhabit this land. Most parts of Carvander and parts of Dara, well, basically that part where the northern and eastern border watch connect, that was their sovereign land in the mountains. And long ago, closer to when the Alexandrians first showed up on this continent and colonized it, there was like a great culling where there was a war, and basically the Sarushan mages versus the giants, and things kind of settled down. But there was always this sort of, after it was all over, this kind of recognized tragedy to it, that there couldn't be any sort of reconciliation. And modern times, most people, especially here in Carvander, recognize the fact that they stole this land from the giants.
Were these carvings here the last time you were here, Galil?
The carvings weren't, but the legends were.
Well, at least paying some tribute.
Dwarves are mighty workers with stone, so it probably didn't actually take them quite so long to throw these up.
So you are very heavily connected to these giants, then?
It's it's legend that giant's blood is passed down to dwarves, so there's always some connection to us in the hills. But
Goliaths too, and it was so long ago that it's almost come to myth. No one's seen a giant in centuries.
But we share the same respect for the land and the stone and the mountains, so
they certainly exist. From where I am, that used to be many, many years ago. They're stomping grounds, as you can say, but there is evidence of giants.
Well, the biggest giant I ever seen is my Uncle Filbar. He's about a 6'8" man. Crazy.
Let's head into the Ogre's Rest and see if they have any beds.
Yuriael, you slipped off into the crowd, just kind of soaking in the environment.
Yeah, I'm sort of eavesdropping on everybody's conversation as I filter through in case I catch anything interesting pop up about anything relating to these hunters or the game drastically disappearing nearby.
You need a perception check.
Nat 20 plus 5.
Look at these 20s. This game so far has been racked with 20s.
There's two
weird.
Book right.
That's weird.
Oh look, another natural 20.
You just gotta take our word for it. I don't have any videography.
So as you're looking around, you're listening in and you're picking up all of these bits of information, but it all seems so not related to what you're looking for. Nobody's really talking about hunters and things. You saw some trappers that were selling off skins and stuff, but they weren't discussing the issue at hand. I don't know if you want to try to talk to anyone specific, but as you're just walking through the crowd, you suddenly feel a tug on your belt.
I'm definitely going to try and react to it just like instantly.
Give me a dexterity check.
6.
6.
You done been hand.
I can't see you. So you feel this tug, and you go to reach around, and you just miss this hand as it slips into the crowd. And you see this child, looks like, couldn't be more than 4 feet tall, just skinny as a rail, slipping through with your coin purse in his hand.
So you've chosen death.
Moving through.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow in pursuit.
All right, give me a.
The Ranger's Apprentice.
He stole all 15 of your gold pieces.
I think it was 10. Just thought that much.
All right, I've got a stealth check for you, so give me a perception check.
7.
He's so tiny and it's so dense with all these people, you lose him instantly. Give me a survival check to see if you can try to track him.
How about that? 13 survival check.
13. Get the favored terrain.
I think he took the other Ranger feat.
Oh. All right. Your head starts to spin with worry as you realize you cannot find this kid. And then, just as you think that it's done, you lost your money, you see just a gap to the crowd, and you just spot a glimpse of this little cotton-top hare crouched behind a stand just nearby, and it looks like he's kind of rifling through your bag to see what's in there.
I'm gonna approach him casually, say, "Kid, there's not much in there. You're welcome to the money. I do not have much need of it, but..."
He, as soon as you say something, he and like clinches the bag and curls over, recoils. Give me a charisma check.
I want to ask him, are you all alone out here? Just 7.
7.
Not on grave.
I rolled like a 6.
Okay.
He,
You've outwitted the 4-year-old.
yeah.
Thank God.
He just goes, yes. He's alone.
I can find you help. You know, this life of crime, I've seen it many times before. It's not fit for a child. You will surely die out here otherwise.
He says, no one wants us.
There's more of you?
He nods. There's lots of orphans in town.
I assume you're all struggling and hungry.
A lot of the time.
This will not do.
Happy Adoption Day.
It will not do.
This will not do.
You start a crime syndicate.
Don't let me hear about it. We're gonna open up a goddamn orphanage in this town.
Son, first we need to get some food and water for everyone, and then you will take me to your friends. I will help you.
Got a task at hand. Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh, 5.
Take a stick from time at hand. Let me grab it.
Not good.
He looks at you for like a long time. Like he's thinking about it.
It's got problems.
And then thinks better of it, and you see he just picks up and starts running.
As he runs away and says, I just want to shout out to him, "Don't worry, I will find you."
Yeah, that's gonna slow him down. Yeah, that's not fucking too much. People just turn and look at you like, what did he say?
Sleep with one eye open, little boy.
What did he say?
So you got my gold?
Yes.
It's okay, I only had 20 of it.
That's a lot for a level 1 character. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Dude,
Oh well.
That's probably the most you can have.
that's probably like a house payment right there.
He's a rich little kid now. It's gonna help him out.
You can get on that for a while. Alright, what else do you do? Only as your
I'm gonna take to the rooftops, and
No, not so much. Well, I mean, there are some lower buildings around.
so not so much rooftops around here. I guess
Mostly tents and wagons.
I go up to those hunters I saw earlier, the trappers.
Okay. Selling their skins and stuff. Alright, yeah, you see this this hill dwarf that's like covered in fur. He's got this big hat on and a big beard.
I want to say, hey, fellow hunters, I'm just like you.
Oh, shit.
Hello,
fellow.
How are you now? You look a little skinny for a hunter.
Yes, you know, I'm new to the area, and I was just curious. I've only traveled through these parts so many times. How is the game out here? What can I expect?
It's pretty good. Get my fair share of elk skins these days. That's mainly what I trade in, but, you know, I bag the occasional raccoon and the odd wolf that wants to try to fuck and then find out.
I completely understand. You know, I've heard rumors of, you know, not as much game out as there should be. Have you noticed anything around like that?
He says, oh, not so much for myself. I tend to stay in the lowlands, but I've been hearing tale that any trappers that go up too far up the mountain be dealing with all sorts of issues. They say those hills are cursed.
I see. Well, I thank you for this information. You wouldn't happen to have any sort of map of the lowlands and highlands, do you?
Hi, laddie. He taps on his head. Got it all right here.
I see. If I ever need a guide through the mountains, I hope I can come back to you and get your assistance.
Sure. He puts out a hand. Name's Glimmer.
Glimmer, Yuriael Gloomraven. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And then I think this will satisfy my quest for information. I don't think I'll find out too much more, so I assume since I've been through this town several times before, I'll know where the tavern is.
Ogre's Rest.
Yeah, if you, Chris told everybody where it was before he broke off, we'll say, so you know where they were going.
Okay. I'm gonna head back to the Ogre's Rest, keeping an eye out for these little street urchin kids, and also making mental notes of where their hideouts might be, if there's any abandoned buildings or anything.
Alright, so, Ogre's Rest Tavern. Alright, so you descend down a narrow stair made of stone, so it's like a basement tavern. The passage walls are lined with green vines crawling along the brick like spider webs. Once below street level, you arrive at a heavy wooden door that releases with a slow creak as you enter. The room beyond is wide but shallow and wraps around a long bar on either end. And on the same wall as the door, you see 4 booths that are nestled into an ornately carved nook, 2 on either side of you. The approximately 80 by 20 foot space in the center is furnished with a half a dozen tables and chairs. The air is warm from the furnace in the corner, and the smell of salted meat and spilled ale fills your nostrils as you walk in.
This might be a weird question. What time of year is it exactly right now?
Summertime.
Summer? Yeah. Okay.
And the living is easy.
I decided to be somewhere close to home. Want to see if I can get a traditional dwarvish meal from the innkeeper.
Like rocks?
Dwarvish drink.
Meat and potatoes.
Meat and taters.
You see that the bartender is a dwarf male. He's got black hair, no beard, but like a full handlebar mustache. He's wearing a tan shirt and a burgundy vest. And as you guys come in, he says, "Come in, find a seat anywhere."
I yell back across and say, "Hey, thanks for having us," and I go look for a table.
Do you want one of the tables in the middle of the room or one of the booths off to the sides? Yeah.
Boys.
Oh, who would
Okay.
like
A like psychopath is going to get a tape.
in the center of the room?
God, pretentious.
What are we, the main characters or something?
Yes, off to the right side. So this is basically in a horseshoe shape, and we've come in at the bottom of the horseshoe.
No, it's yeah, kind of, but not. It's less of a horseshoe shape and more like a bracket,
Oh, okay.
and like real simple, very much like just a classic like basement bar.
We'll be able to hear and see Yuriael come in.
And he arrives maybe 10 minutes after you do. But first, will you walk up to the bartender, or do you go to the booth with everybody?
I want to go up to the bartender. Is this the dwarf male?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as you walk up, he's sitting kind of catty-corner from where these 2 people are sitting, but you see 2 more dwarves that are sitting at the bar side by side. One is kind of got this balding horseshoe look with like an old gray beard, and the other one has a red beard that's real neat and trimmed, but like long, heavy hair. You just notice them as they're talking to each other, and you walk up to them.
Okay. I want to walk up and extend my arm out to shake their hand, or the
bartender?
Yeah, the bartender.
Sure. Greet you out.
Okay. I grab his forearm really strongly, and I tell him, I've been in Alexandria for hundreds of years now, and I have not been home, and I would very much like to treat myself and my party to a fine dwarvish meal. if it were possible.
He has this look on his face like he's been had. Oh shit! I gotta come up with a fine Irish meal now. He's like, yeah. Well, let's see what we've got here for you. I mean, I could come up with something fresh.
Fresh is good.
Good start.
Start throwing those extra special words to make the meal sound amazing. Like a PB&J is just a grape puree with peanut butter spread. The peanut spread.
So Galil, what does a traditional dwarven meal look like? Heavy meat and potatoes.
Heavy meat and potatoes with strong ale.
He's got that covered. You could smell it when you came in.
Yeah.
It's probably just been a while since he's fed a proper dwarf not from this area.
So he slides this like wooden plate over with you, and it's got like this thick cut of meat on it, and some chopped potatoes, and like looks like some kind of like shredded bean of some kind. Yeah, he just slides it over to you and taps the table. It's 3 copper.
Okay, I slide him 12 copper, and I say, I'll need 3 more for my party. And while he's preparing that, I will have finished my food.
So yeah, it's like the time it takes for him to like turn around and fix it up. He turns around. Oh.
Yeah, I just slide him the empty plate back.
He slides you the 2 plates.
And I'll carry them back over to the booth and sit down with my party. I slide you a plate, you a plate, you a plate.
Thank you.
Say eat up.
Thank you. Haven't eaten anything like this in a while. It'd be nice.
Yeah, you look like you need some meat on your bones.
I mean, what?
You're skinny.
Yes? Is that an issue?
You could be thrown farther.
Be good with the back.
Wait, who's throwing me?
No one's throwing anyone. That's last case scenario.
No, that's a never case scenario. No one's throwing me.
Yes. No. Yes.
All right. Well, I just go ahead and dig in, just kind of like a little. Okay. This is not just a bar. Is it also a place where people can buy rooms and stuff?
Yeah. Did we see it upstairs or anything?
Not that you see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll. Did you ask your friend up there where we could spend the night?
I unfortunately was too distracted by the food.
You know what? That's fair.
It's good fare.
I toss back the rest of my ale and
It was really good.
say,
Like he didn't seem confident that it was a fine dwarvish meal. Maybe he didn't understand culturally what that was, but it was good.
yes, good
You
ale.
get lucky.
I want to approach the same bartender and slide him 2 more copper and say, thank you very much. It was a much needed meal. Me and my party have been traveling and are looking for a place to stay. Do you have any beds available or know of where we might be able to find?
There's a few taverns further up the bluff, or not taverns, hostels up the bluff. People can sleep for a time. That's a few cheap common houses. If you're looking for something more luxurious, you'll have to go up to the top. I don't know how deep their pockets are, but there's some options. It's not a crazy big town, but people try to enjoy themselves while they're here.
I'm sure the hostels will do just fine, and thank you very much for your hospitality and all the information. My name is Galil, by the way.
I want to bring my plate up to the bar. It's completely clean. My glass is completely drained. I want to place it on the bar, and I want to say, where can I wash these?
Oh, that's all right. We got that handled. Was it good, eh?
Yes, it was great. If you're sure, I'm just used to cleaning up after myself. Could you?
I understand, but your friend paid for it, so.
Yes. Thank you, by the way. Could you, by any chance, give us a general layout of the town from where we stand? Just tell us a little bit about what's going on in the town. Mainly, are there any temples in this town?
Yeah, there's a chapel up on the top tier. To who? Let's record it. I don't know who else, really.
You never know.
I turn to you and I say, I am a fairly well-known member of the church in Alexandria, and any church in this area that worship the tricord or Andromeda or Aliclus or anyone should be able to give us a place to stay for the night if we would choose to do that.
Fantastic. Yes, maybe we should visit the temple before turning in. And I want to ask the bartender, I want to say, is there any other notable things in the town besides shopping?
I suppose it depends on what you're looking for. You'd be a little more specific.
Bathhouse, library.
You could call it the library. There's a house of books.
Yeah.
He calls it the library, but,
Just to have
he's also a pretentious elf, so...
I suppose we should probably make our way to the temple, see if we can't secure some housing.
Galil and Krisk, what's your passive perception?
Not great. Passive is 11. Or 30.
Galil, while you're talking to the bartender, you overhear a glimpse of conversation from the two dwarves that are sitting at the bar next to you. The other one says, the older one, the gray one with the balding hair, is like, to his buddy, he's like, I'm telling you, those hills are cursed. It's only going to be a matter of time before it comes to us. They're taking all of our meat. And the other one's like, oh, you're being paranoid. It's not the curse. It's just some rough house poachers out there. I'm sure it'll get sorted out in time.
I spin and interject myself immediately, and to the one that was talking about a curse, I say, what curse?
And he looks at you and he sees like, he kind of like identifies with you because he's probably pushing 300-400 years old himself, and he sees how old you are, and he says, you surely don't know?
I've been away a long time.
Well, they say it was a tragedy. Some fell thing overtook what seemed like an entire family. It really left a stain. Not but legends and superstition up those mountains. And honestly, I want to believe it. And you see like the guy behind them, the younger one, just kind of like, this old king.
You see
You're in the conversation now.
Yeah, you're up to the bar too.
the expression on Galil's face shifts from anger and excitement to more of a solemn realization as he turns away from the dwarves and meets back with his party.
So, you guys found a lead on like a place to stay, or?
I think so. Between Galil and I, we should be able to secure some lodging at the temple to the tricord.
Oh.
Maybe you can actually learn some real knowledge.
No, I know plenty of real knowledge. Thank you very much.
All right.
New age.
So you guys are well fed. You guys gonna set back out? So as they come back, you see coming in the door. You guys are. This is right after they go back to the table and rejoin with y'all. So you guys are still talking for a moment, and you notice coming into the door, you see the members of the caravan from the gate. You guys have been here for maybe an hour or two.
Here we go.
They come in and they sit at the table. You notice they have a sullen look to them. And you also notice that the haggard, red-haired dwarf that was smoking on the pipe is not with them.
They threw him under the bus.
The carriage.
Under the carriage.
So yeah, they just kind of like, you guys are off on like, we'll say the rightmost booth. They come in and they go to the opposite side of the door and get on another booth. So they're ways off, but you recognize them. You see Edgar, Amelia, the half-elf, and the elf all go in there. They're just missing their dwarf friend.
Does Edgar have the stoat?
Not that you see.
Okay. That's all I care about, the stoat. And Edgar, of course.
It seems
Niles.
seems like they may have had their contraband confiscated.
Let's find out.
I don't know if we should.
I want to walk over there.
Nope. I'm gonna start shooting my feet first.
Okay, so as you get up and start walking over there, Chris, you before you get there, so I'll let you act accordingly when picking up this information. You overhear part of their conversation. You immediately notice that they are mostly surrounding a weeping Amelia. Edgar seems mostly oblivious as he plays with this small mechanical toy that he has. And then you see Fievel, the kind of braggadocious half elf that was leading the group, the merchant savant as he puts himself. He just kind of says, "Damn that oaf! Of all the miserable." And you see as the elf, who's just kind of like sitting at the end of the booth, unstringing his bow, kind of like not paying attention, but quickly kicks the half elf in the shins, and he goes, "Oh shit!" And he goes, "Don't worry, Amelia. He's bought us some time." And you see them just kind of like console her. She seems upset, most of all, that the dwarf was taken into custody.
Yeah, as I approach, I want to say it seems like you've all made it through the gate.
Philo looks back. Amelia doesn't flinch. Philo looks back at you and kind of, yeah, you could say that.
Well, seems the problem was solved. I'm glad to see you've made it in. Seems there's one of you missing.
It's some other business to take care of.
Sure.
Insight check.
Did you go over there with them?
No, I'm just saying.
What's your passive perception?
Oh, not even worth it. 10, probably.
Mine's 15.
Uriel probably overhears a muffled version of this from that far away.
Please, could I buy you all a round of drinks? It was quite an ordeal that we went through. I understand you were there for hours.
Yes, it was quite a delay. We'll have to sleep here for the night before we set out.
Well, surely not here. There's no inns.
No, not at the tavern. We'll find a place.
Well, please, allow me to buy you drinks.
Sure, if you're offering.
Yep. How many are there?
4. Well, 3 and a baby.
So 4.
Yeah, drinking age 7 in this.
That's right. So I want to go over to the bar and grab 4 mugs of just ale and
one apple juice.
yeah, I'll grab 4 mugs of ale and take it over there and have one for myself and say, here, I hope you all find what you're looking for. Good luck to you.
You set all the mugs down and they accept it. And it looks like Edgar's gonna try to reach for one, and Amelia quickly snaps out of it enough to go into parrot mode and grab it. Yeah, look at him. And Fievel just says, "Well, thank you for your custom. Don't see a lot of friendly strangers around here."
As well, it seems like we're all going to be spending the night here, so if you should ever need anything, we'll be around most likely.
I nudge Yuriael and I say, you best watch your friend. That's his second ale, and they're a little bit stronger around here.
I partake, but I don't get shit, okay?
He is an idiot.
He's big, a burly half-orc.
I want to
It takes a lot to get me drunk.
They use the water from the hill.
to the bartender and ask if he knows about these kids, these ruffians.
Ruffians, I don't follow.
Little street kids. Street punks.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few orphans living in town, I gotta say.
You know where they hang out?
All over. I mean, pretty much go wherever you want. You don't have anywhere to be.
Makes sense, but surely they've got some kind of base of operations.
Base of operations. Children. A bunch of children.
Yeah, some kind of playground they like to frequent.
Not that I've ever heard, mate. Stop looking for playgrounds.
I'm gonna have a mafia of children.
But watch out, put you on some sort of list.
Yeah.
These kids need my help.
So, with seeing that their caravan have came to town, I can only imagine how long till probably Horgrash and everyone else comes up.
Probably just a couple minutes.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little drink of my drink, put a copper on the table. So I'm just gonna go out and wait for my pal. I know where I can meet him up at. Where were these inns that you guys were going to go see?
I think they were further up the
Temples?
bluffs, yes.
Temples on the bluffs.
A temple, yes.
A temple and the bluff.
To the tricle.
All right. Well, I still have a lot of explaining to do of where I was, so just take one more big drink and see you guys then there, or?
I'm sure we'll be able to secure lodgings.
All right. Shouldn't be too long. Should just be about 2 hours or so before we meet up again.
I side-eye both of Yuriael and Krisk and slowly reach across the table and finish the rest of Ashford's drink. I said, oh, it's really good, actually.
Once your business is completed, will he be returning somewhere, or?
Oh, we'll probably most likely be heading back to Olin Vale, back to our lumber yard as we most frequently. I mean, unless this become, are we like a thing now? Are we a group? Or?
We'll see you at the temple.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Well, yeah.
Don't make it
Out of here. Nope, not at all. I'm gonna kind of head out the door and just kind of think to myself like, stupid. Are we a thing? It's like we just met like 3 hours.
Just mumbling on his way out of the inn.
Yeah, it's like
Odd fellow, isn't he?
I'm just gonna be heading to our
head out
library area where I know where I can meet Horgrash.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
I suppose when we're done, we want to go up to the temple.
How long do you wait after he leaves, or do you leave at the same time?
Yeah, we'll just go at the same time. We know he's gonna meet us there. Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be 15.
So you ask around on your way up out of this place as you're just grab some random other person that's in here. There were a few others, and they say, "Oh, you want to go up this way?" Blah blah blah. And as it happens, it's the same road to get up to the second tier. It's where they keep the bunkhouses, like the inns, as well as certain industries. And so you know the lumberyard is up there too. So you know you'll split up on your way up there, but you guys head up to the next tier together. As you guys head up to the next tier, you see in the distance a row of buildings that is where you think the inns are. And on a side road, you see your cart parked up at a crossroad and a sign. You see Ogrash is standing right next to it. Looks like he's like trying to secure one of the ropes on the side of it or something. He's like messing with something. The horses are kind of kicking at the ground and just kind of looking antsy, like something might happen with the cart. He's messing with that and watches some people are coming up to him. Look like locals. From a distance, it looks like they're just talking at first. And then you see one of the bigger ones kind of like stiff arms him in the shoulder. And you see that they've kind of got this sort of like ominous encroaching energy about them as they're all kind of like messing with your half-orc friend.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I'm about how far away? That's a pretty good range for sleep. No, I know how magic is kind of treated in this world. I don't want to throw it out willy-nilly. How much bigger? I'm like a 5'9" male. How much bigger are these guys?
I mean, two of them are about Hogrash's size, and then the other two are bigger than Hogrash. He's a lumberjack half-orc, so they're pretty big. You wouldn't want to get in a fist fight with them.
Are they like hooded, clothed, or do they have any sort of?
They're not even wearing armor. They look like laborers.
Interesting.
Give me a perception check. You guys are still kind of a ways off.
Perception, that's a 7.
Yeah, that's really all you can make from here. That's far away. It doesn't look like they're wearing like gleaming armor or anything. You don't see any apparent weaponry.
When we left the tavern, did we all go the same direction? Or we with him?
You all notice it. You don't recognize the situation as clearly as he does, but he can see it, and you can see what's going on
like
from your angle. Yeah, it kind of looks like a bunch of locals are bullying this half-orc.
I put an arrow in the ground at their feet.
I don't like that either.
No, I'm to see if maybe I can hey, this probably is not the greatest thing to do right now. Probably no need to use
He's already shot it.
Yeah.
They shoot. It's up to you. Do you shoot it or not? They say maybe not. That's on a.
As he's pulling it out, maybe.
Are you sure? It seems like the right call.
Let's use our words.
Yeah, let's see what we can distinguish. Maybe they're like old friends or something. They're just roughhousing for funsies. I don't know.
I put it back in a dash.
Yeah, I was about to say I want to quicken my pace, not necessarily run.
Yeah. If it was just me, I probably would have watched from a side. But since I know we got the party, it was like, it's getting in there right now, and this is kind of scaring me a little bit.
All right, so you run up and you hear one of them is like, hey, Crash, this guy thinks he's some kind of entrepreneur. The dumbass half-orc thinks he's gonna sell some wood. And the other one's like, I don't know what the hell he's thinking. They don't belong here.
Excuse me. Yes. Just kind of wave over. It's like, Orgrash, everything okay? How's the lumber doing? Did we make our shipment? Are we making our shipment still? We camp out for the night.
He kind of goes, what do you mean, we?
Oh, you left him.
That was a hell of a long piss. I knew you piss a long time.
Well, sometimes you gotta shake it out and you realize you gotta pee a little bit more, and then it just kind of becomes a thing. And also, hey, I'm so glad you made it into town. As I'm kind of walking back up, as if almost nothing was wrong. So who are your friends here?
The guy just goes, piss off, this doesn't concern you. He kind of tries to shoulder block you out of the situation.
Excuse me, you just try to go back into the situation. Yeah, it very much concerns me. This is, after all, also my shipment, believe it or not.
Athletics check. He shoves you.
Oh. That's a 17 plus 2, so 19.
Okay, this guy straight up tries to push you to the ground, and you're just deceptively sturdy, and you just kind of what the fuck?
Excuse you might want to get your shoelaces checked, because I think you might have tripped a little bit. I'm going to just kind of nudge back.
Alright, do it again.
That's a natural 20.
I rolled a 5. So I was giving a +2, so
Lift him off the ground.
Yeah, you straight up just watch this, and he's just shoulder check his ass to the ground.
So
you do it just right, you just get him off kilter enough that he trips over a rock that's jutting out of the ground, and you just tumble him right over.
Yeah. So I'll ask again: is there an issue here?
And the other one's going, "Oh, this guy wants a fight, huh?" And then you see another one reel back and go punch you. Roll initiative.
Oh.
All right, got our initiative. So it looks like on the top of the round is the dude taking a punch at you. So he sees you kind of outmaneuver his buddy, and he tumbles to the ground, and he looks at you and he goes, "You little asshole," and he just rears up and he's gonna try to punch you in the head with his fists.
He'll probably do it.
Not quite. Not unless a 6 hits you. So he goes haymaker style, just big barreling fist. He's a human, and just like whoosh right over your head, and then it goes Yuriael. Yeah, point of order. As of now, nobody is brandishing a weapon. This looks to be a fist fight. It doesn't care.
How possible is it for my character? I feel like it's totally within his skill set to take some rope, make a lasso out of it, and then tie up.
That takes you a while. Yeah.
It's gonna be a minute.
To make a lasso?
Have you tried to?
No, I think you can. We'll say you'll use your bonus action to get the rope tied, just real quick. We'll give you a sleight of hand check to tie a rope, and then the next will just be a ranged attack. We'll have to improvise it a bit.
Okay.
We'll say you'll add your dex, but not your proficiency to the attack roll.
So I'll do my sleight of hand. That's plus scary.
Really like how you're pulling him MacGyver with most of our effects.
Can I take that? 12.
Okay. It seems like you got a real quick but decent knot. You can make yourself a loop, start spinning it.
Just a dex roll?
Yeah, just a dex roll.
Why is it doing it?
Because you're twirling it.
Well, 17 plus 3.
Okay.
20.
So you loop it over him and pull it tight. And we'll just say that's what happens. He hasn't had a chance to react to that yet. But there's 4 guys, and you got one of them lassoed up. Is it the one that threw the punch, or is it one of the other ones?
Yeah, one, 2.
Okay, so right in the middle, everyone sees that you kind of loop him in, and he's tied up real tight and kind of wiggling. And it's like,
Now y'all calm down before this gets dangerous.
give me an intimidation check.
All of a sudden, Yuriael turns into a cowboy. Now y'all calm down.
10.
The 2 that haven't engaged in it yet so much, they turn and run. The one that got pushed down starts getting himself back up as you say that, and looks over to the one that you got lassoed, and he says, "I don't know about this, Cash. Let's get the fuck out of here." And he starts to kind of like sidle past y'all. And you've got this one that's in the rope. That goes to you next, Asimir.
I'm not going to do too much. My plan is just get beside Hogrash, just kind of look intimidating, protect the face, fists up, just what's it called? Held action in case anybody ever comes up to threaten either me or Hogrash.
It's a cow to the eye.
Yep. Just taking a defensive stance.
Going to
Perfect.
permanently wound him.
All right, so Galil, it comes to you.
Yeah, as they're actively fleeing, yeah, I'm just going to tell them, yell sort of, because I didn't run up like the rest of them did. I'm just going to yell, it'd be best if you left and went and asked for forgiveness for what you already done instead of getting yourself into deeper trouble.
Goes to Krisk next. So it's kind of the situation unwinding a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you kind of, I guess you really don't need an insight check to know that this attack on this other half was racially motivated.
Yeah, I don't want to bear arms or even look menacing or anything. I just want to say what seems to be the issue.
All right, so it's Hogrash next. And he pushes past Asimir and he says, "I'll tell you what the issue is. These guys are fucking assholes." And he just punches dude that's tied up in the face.
Whoa.
And he connects.
He's a dead man.
He doesn't kill the guy, but you see he gets this perfect squared up punch right to this guy's jaw while he can't defend himself. It just doesn't take him to the ground, but you see he's like, his head is fucking going.
Whoa. I know it's not my turn, but in any way I can, I want to try to pull back Hogarth a little bit and be like, now, you're behaving exactly like they want us to behave.
All right, so Asimir, it goes to the thugs now. Give me an opposed athletics check. This guy's going to try to free himself. DC 17.
Athletics, you say? 4.
Okay, so you're pulling the rope, and he's like,
Tried to.
he's saying trying to get in between the fight. He just got clocked in the face by Hogrash. He shakes the ropes loose, and they drop slack, and he frees himself. He just takes a step back, and he says, "Whatever, fuck off, guys," and he just kind of tries to run. So do you guys want to do anything or let him flee?
Yeah.
But I made up.
So
Try to restrain Hogarth.
broken and beaten, he kind of spits a mouthful of blood down on the ground at your feet, and they flee. And so you're left there with the cart and Hogrash, who is, thanks to your help, no worse for wear.
Worse.
Except
Very
for,
nice where they...
a bit of a scalped knuckle.
Yes.
Kind of hit him up on the shoulders like, "Hey, Hogrash, how you doing? Welcome to town."
I'm tired.
Hey, you know what? Good for us. I found us a place. And, are you hungry? Gotten good milk when I found this little tavern down the road.
I'm not hungry. I want to unload this lumber so I can get the job done and go home.
Hey, sounds great to me, buddy. Let's go ahead and get this finished up.
Done by now.
We should have been done by now, honestly, if it hadn't been for those assholes waiting at the line for so long. Also, Hogrash, this is Krisk, Galil, and oh my gosh, Yuriael. I actually forgot.
I want to
Yuriael.
I want to shake his hand now and say it's not often we see our brethren out here.
I'm just trying to make a damn living.
Met these guys at my piss, by the way. Pretty cool dudes.
The piss?
At the piss. Met these guys while I was pissing.
The piss.
The piss.
I've got to get this cart unloaded.
Yep. I'm with you.
Asimir was supposed to be helping me. If you guys don't mind assisting me, we get the job done faster. I'll pay you for your time.
Oh, I could definitely use some gold right now. I find myself want.
Gold?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Well, are you getting gold for this?
It's a job.
That's what a job is.
I know it's like a summer job thing while you're out of school, but yeah, that's how jobs work. That's how the big boys make it.
Man, I was figuring we were making like silvers or something at the very most.
It's a big shipment of lumber.
I'll take it. Whatever.
He kind of gestures, we'll be making silver, but the shipment is worth a lot of gold.
Okay, yeah. Anybody good with knots?
Knots, not so much.
Well, won't matter. Just as long as you can carry something, we'll start working.
Yes.
Okay, so
tying everything.
Where's this going?
he climbs back up on the cart and says, climb aboard, everyone. I'll get us there in no time. And he snaps the reins and moves up. You guys only go about another half a mile down the road to this quite large lumber operations on the outskirts. And you pull up into this yard, and he finds where you guys are supposed to load. And basically, you guys spend, for the sake of brevity, you guys spend about 30 minutes together unloading this cart to a place where they want to put this pallet of stuff. And you see he goes inside for a few minutes and comes back out and goes up to you, Asimir. And he says, pulls out this bag, kind of goes up to the edge of the wagon, to the edge of the gate, starts counting out these bits of gold. And he counts out 50 gold pieces. And he looks at you with like this incredulous look, and he like cuts it. And then he cuts another 10 off of that. He slides you the 15 gold pieces and then tosses the other bag to one of you three and says, that's for helping me out.
I'm good. I don't need any wages. Just happy to have.
That's up to you to decide. He gives you guys 10 gold to divvy out how you please.
Yeah, I
Probably receive the bag.
I take the bag.
And recoup some of your losses.
say it is getting later in the day, though. I think we should make our way to the top of the bluffs and try to locate this temple. I would at least gonna have to exchange some pleasantries with the priest there before we can get our place to stay.
As you say that, Hogar says, not for me, no thanks. I'm gonna hit up the common house. If you plan on getting a ride back with me to Holy Vale, Asimir, let me know in the morning, otherwise I'll be out of here by noon. And he's got this very like dismissive, like, I don't know what you're getting into, boy, but it's none of my business.
Well, I'll be sure to either meet up with you, let you know. If I'm not there, I wish you the best. It's been a good 3 weeks.
I want to look around, look up, see the bluff, and sort of try to figure out how I would get up from the base, see if I can see a...
So where you are, there's like a spiral path that goes up the bluff. And there are also a couple of elevators scattered throughout the place too, like simple like pulley winch style sort of lifts that will get you up certain spaces. So give me an investigation check to kind of decipher how quickly you guys find a passage up.
20.
Okay, easily enough. So you get to a point that's real easy to navigate, and you find a pretty expedited way to get up to the top of the bluff. They're charging 5 copper a ride though.
Yeah, I think we should just take this lift up.
And this is to get to your temple.
Well, I know that this isn't my temple, this is just a temple of the Tricord, but they will give us a place to stay because of my standing with the church in Alexandria. I just know that the temple is located on one of the bluffs, so I figure once we get up higher, we'll be able to see it better. So I paid the guy 20 copper.
Oh no, it's 5 for the whole trip.
Oh, 5 for the whole.
Like as many people as you can get on the lift, basically.
Awesome.
So five between the lot of you. He gets you guys up. Like cuts off like 20 minutes of having to walk all the way up the actual road. So you crest the bluff at the top of the lift, and you immediately see this quaint chapel nestled in a residential neighborhood. surrounded by lots of trees. You follow a winding road that leads you through the thicket up to the chapel with a simple set of doors that waits up a shallow stoop.
By all inclusive, it's beautiful. I love it. I want to enter through the front doors of the chapel.
Okay.
Same. Yeah.
All right. Inside the fixtures are humble, making the immaculate stained glass window above the pulpit stand out even more as rays of sunlight come through these windows and just cause this like rainbow effect of light and color throughout the room.
Just before dusk, yeah.
Yeah, it's the sun setting. It's just on the throes of twilight. You see that the glass is depicting the tricordate exalt, the three circles arranged in a triangle. At the top, you see a three-eyed sphinx. To the left, a two-tailed dragon. To the right, a deva wielding a sword. They catch the sun, sending waves of color across the room. The place is empty, except for a single friar tending to the altar.
I will approach the friar and say, "Good afternoon, sir. My name is Galil. I am a traveler from the east. I am making a journey from the Church of Alexandria, where I am a cleric who does handyman work for them around the church. But I am traveling home, and I was coming here to see if you might give me and my party a place to stay for the night."
He kind of looks up at you shakily. You see this old human man, completely gray hair. He kind of feebly looks up at you with a smile and a gentle face. You see he's tending to some candles, and he says, "Oh my, that was a mouthful. Yeah, it's so hard to keep up with the world these days. There's plenty of space around, as you can see."
I say, "Well, we would be much obliged to stay here. While I'm here for the night, is there any repair that might be done to your chapel that we could repay you for our stay with?"
Yes, I'm willing to help too, Father.
Well, what an offer. For some things on my to-do list I could get taken care of. Some rotty floorboards here and there.
I'll assist with whatever needs to be done.
Sure. Let me show you to the storage room. That's where I keep all the things I need for fixing the floorboards. And
Okay, I say, well, me and my party, we will unpack our things. We are very weary from the road, and then we will get right on those repairs before we go to sleep. Thank you very much for your hospitality, and praise be to Andromeda.
Absolutely. It's good to see another brothers in the light.
I'll just kind of peel off away from him and go to... It's just like a big open area, open...
It's like a big open chapel, and there's like a side hallway that you don't know much of the layout, or it could be a basement to the place. Some side rooms, but mostly it's just this one chapel.
Yes, we just kind of go to a corner. We just go to a corner and set it.
So we just camp out here. We just take a pew or something, or
Well, it's
I
safe.
pull out my bedroll.
It's safe and we're allowed here.
and it's fair.
Kind of looks at you and says, "I'll see if there's some old blankets down in the."
I mean, if you don't mind, I'd bring my spare.
We'll get that, Father. Where are these repairs that you need?
Oh yes, the storage closet. I almost forgot. Follow me. And he leads you down the hallway. Grabs a candle, lights it for a source of light. Now you see there's oil lamps and stuff on the walls and things, but you gather that he's preserving that material for his services and his bare minimum. I only need a little bit of light, so I'm just gonna use this candle. And so he leads you down this hallway and he opens this dusty old storage closet, and you do see some cut wood that's stacked up and covered in dust and cobwebs. He ain't repaired some damn floorboards in a while. But yeah, he says, "Help yourself. There's a bucket of nails in here somewhere, I think."
Perfect. Well, thank you very much.
Let's get to it. Are you boys hungry? I got a soup I made.
I could go for some soup.
You eat the soup, we'll work.
Yeah.
And I'll dust things off if you need to.
Very good, very good. Follow me to the kitchen, young man.
Oh, absolutely lovely. Thank
You guys, so he leads Asimir off as you guys start repairing some of the stuff. Give me a perception check. Does anyone who's helping with the repairs just kind of see it? Because he wasn't particularly detailing as to do this. It's other than the light that's coming through the windows, kind of whitewashing everything with the color, really. Yeah. It's hard to really see things that are glaringly out of place, but you see up in the front, beneath the pulpit, there's like this heavy altar. It's got some candles on things, and you notice that it's slightly askew, and you realize that the floorboards underneath it are kind of rotted out. And it would be a pretty simple task to slide the altar out of the way, rip those up real quick, and put some more boards that won't, fall through in the middle of a service.
Let's get it.
Okay, I'll reach down and grab my shackle that's on my wrist and use my channel divinity to transform that chunk of iron into a long iron crowbar.
Ooh, nice. All right, you see he starts doing this, kind of like slams the gauntlets together, and you see like this, as he does that, there's like this little bit of a tremor, and you see this like wave of sparkling energy kind of course through the whole set of gauntlets. It's like not exactly like bands of energy, it's more like some light washed over it, and you caught this sparkle, like the glittering of sandstone kind of washes over, like there's something in the metal that shines when the light hits it just right. And as he does this, you see that the material that he has just transmutes right before you into what you've made.
That is a handy trick.
A gift from the gods. I pray every day and they bless me. Yuriael, if you would.
I just wish it out of that.
And it's not too. Yeah, it's not that heavy. You guys easily take care of the repairs.
Okay.
Especially with being able to fabricate the tools you need out of thin air. So that takes about 30 minutes.
Anything else? It was easy.
We could I probably turn in early for the night. I need to get on the road and get up the way pretty soon. If there's nothing else to be repaired, I'm full and I have a place to sleep, so I'm gonna make my way back over to the corner.
Galil, before you turn it, how urgent is your mission? There's a lot of good that can be done here.
My mission is not necessarily a direct mission. I just feel a calling to come home. So I would be okay with sticking around for a day, just because I'm sort of dreading going home, actually.
What awaits you at your home?
What awaits everyone? Just family, old memories.
Yes, I too wish to return home. I have an urgent mission as well, but I think one more day wouldn't hurt us. There's a lot of good we can do at this temple. If any place needs the tricordon, it's this place.
Yeah, and I did hear Yuriael going on about a band of orphan children.
There is that.
Could possibly find a place to stay here. And
I also did find some more information that could be a lead on our traveling orgs. It seems like there's definitely less game in the upper lands. Locals seem to think there's a curse of some kind, but it could be the orcs we're looking for.
Absolutely. Or could be a curse.
Either way.
Well, I want to find, what was his name? The friar. We didn't ask.
You didn't answer.
Is he
right now? He's
down
a
here?
nice old man. He took Asimir to the kitchen 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And then you come into the kitchen, I'm boiling in a giant stew pot.
Yeah.
And he's hit the stew pie.
Yeah.
Snacking on carrots.
times is hard.
Really good.
You know what? I'll admit.
No. Yeah, I want to come in friar. And I want to say, Father, what is your name?
My name's Abbot Christopher.
Abbot Christopher.
Christopher Nell. Yes.
Christopher Nell. Well, Father, we've finished the repairs in a timely manner. Is there anything else that you would like help with before we turn in?
That was more than anyone could have hoped.
Well, I think my friend Galil, and my name was Krisk, by the way. I think we're in agreement that there's much good that can be done for this temple. It seems that there's an underwhelming presence of the tricordant in this area.
Yes, well, you shouldn't be surprised this place fills up on Sundays, but yeah, things just move too quickly in Sarusha. We try to keep up the best we can, but it's hard to instill faith in folks who can just get anything they want at the snap of a finger.
Yes. I'm not accustomed to it myself. Anything I have to earn on my own, so I can sympathize with what you mean. Are you aware of the orphan presence in this town?
And it's sad. There's far too many children without places to go. Of course, it's kind of been that way for a while.
Well, had I the funds, I would take care of this personally, but is there anything that could be done that you know of for these orphans?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not much into like city planning or things like that. It just seems like there's too many too many people around.
Yeah, I completely understand.
I'm an old man. All of this was all the way it's been for as long as I can remember, but there weren't so many people here.
Well, what's up with the parents? I mean, I can understand children being around, but orphans are a different matter.
Don't know.
Is there no orphanage?
There is. They do what they can, as far as I know.
Why are there still some on the streets if there's an orphanage?
Yeah, I'm not the city.
We might have to ask them also.
They need more help, I guess.
Yes, well,
More facilities.
These poor babies.
It's unfortunate, yes. But what you going to do? People won't go up that mountain. There's all this ranging freedom, and people are afraid.
so where is the orphanage?
Down in the second tier somewhere. I don't remember. Okay. You see them come up here every once in a while, but the nobles aren't exactly kind. At least not all of them. So
What did you say about the
a
mountain?
mountain?
Yes.
Well, folks say it's cursed.
Do you believe it?
No, I don't travel much. There's strange things happen from time to time, unexplained things, people go missing. The gods never found any sort of proof, I suppose, of there being demons.
I interrupt. I said, there are demons in the hills. We must be wary.
Absolutely.
You say that with such conviction.
Yes.
How do you know this?
I just know it to be true.
Well, maybe we'll have to do something about it. Well, Father Christopher, thank
He
you.
just kind of pauses with a dripping ladle in his hand.
No, be on your way. Back to your business. We'll try our hardest not to disturb you. And what day of the week is it?
No trouble at all.
It's not like Saturday, is it?
No, it's like Thursday.
Okay.
I think it's Thursday.
Okay.
Yes, I do the candles on Thursday. Do the rafters on Friday. Okay. Yes.
He's young to me.
Thursday.
Well, we plan on being here for one more day.
Senile but young.
If there is anything that we could do to help make things more comfortable for you here, or improve the messages that you pass along, please allow us to assist.
Humble effects for stronger faith. I'm fine, young man.
Thank you. Now, I guess I will retire for the night.
As I retire, I sort of ponder that strange difference of how old that man seemed, but how young he was to me, and how over these long
The
years,
scope of his 80 years is his whole life. To me.
yeah, but also how my mother probably had been in a similar state before she passed away, and I didn't really get to observe it, and how I also may be approaching that soon in my eyes. So sort of reflecting on a lot of these concepts as I go to sleep.
Yeah, you're fit for your age. I mean, to be fair.
You got another couple hundred years.
Yeah.
I would just like to finish my bowl of stew, clean it out, wash it wherever it needs to go, and just find like a little pew, clean it off a little bit with prestidigitation, just start going to the book where I can.
For the first time in weeks, I will doff my armor.
To your spell book or to your grandfather's book?
My grandfather's book.
Okay. Then you're gonna doff your armor?
It's the first time I felt safe in a while, so being in a holy place again.
Have you been sleeping in your armor?
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
You get exhaustion from that.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do in the wilds.
Alright, so yeah, the funkiest armor must.
Yeah.
Y'all got your leather armor stank going on, but
I'll wash out.
Krisk for sure.
I'll wash out.
No, I'm definitely spritzing some prestidigitation.
It's like, I got this.
Fresh cut grass.
Alright, so you guys are going to sleep?
Yep.
Eucalyptus.
Okay, so you guys all kind of move to your own quarters of the chapel and get yourselves comfortable. It sounded like everyone was kind of getting their own little personal space together. You guys all slowly go off to sleep. Asimir, as you're kind of flipping through your book, reading and trying to figure stuff out, you're fixated on the fact that this book is blank. You flip through it, and like, no matter how many times you go back and forth, it's just that one page with the script, Bahamut's or Dragon's Breath, and or did it say Bahamut's?
I think it was
Bahamut's Spine. And so you're going back and forth with it, and eventually everyone else falls asleep, and you start to lose track of time as you're kind of going back through this book. And it's sort of just kind of, you feel yourself getting more and more tired. You've been on the road all day, but it's just that active brain that just won't shut up. And so you're going through this book back and forth, and you start to hear a whisper. Kind of snaps you back out of it, and you look around, you kind of got this moment of clarity back, and you look around and you see, Krisk is sleeping, and Yuriael's curled up and sleeping, and Galil's over in the corner, and like everything's normal. And then you just kind of look back at your book, and you flip through the pages one more time, kind of release this exasperated sigh, like, You hear the whispers again, and you watch as you're flipping one way, and then suddenly the book pages go, and it opens to a page. And you watch as, kind of like leading through the paper, you see this image of your grandfather. You see Asmarius sitting at a writing desk, and you look, you recognize his cloak, and you recognize his not his table. You recognize his cloak, and you recognize his effects, and you see the back of a quill writing feverishly. And at the same time as this image kind of renders on one side, you see on the other side date start to scrawl into the page, and then you see lettering begin to form, like something is writing on the page, invisible to your eye. And in your head, you swear you hear his voice as you begin reading the excerpt. I arrived in Dragon's Breath today. What a sight to behold. Like a warm hearth, I was drawn to the bustle of the market that greeted me. I've rarely seen such a collection of cultures living amongst each other, and under the watchful gaze of the giants, no less. Though I welcome the distraction, those towering stone effigies of beings lost to this world remind me of why I've come. Dragon's Breath, like those statues, is but a ghost of something lost to time. My research is correct. There may be numerous secrets hidden further up the mountain. The locals say the land is cursed, but I suspect something much more tangible. I rest here for a time, until I find a suitable guide to Bahamut's spine. Voice kind of echoes in your mind, and you see this completed journal entry on the page, the first time something's appeared in this book since you saw the name of this town. And as you kind of take all of that in and read the excerpt over and over again, that's where we're going to end this session.
He's a loser.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, I like that actually. It's good.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
Once again, if you like what we're doing,
Till next time.
give us a review wherever you found this podcast.
Yeah.
BitTorrent.
Yep. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Share our adventures with friends old and young. So come raise your glass to the heroes so bold. Persephone's Tavern, where legends are told.
Yeah, it's the end of the show, which means it's time to take a look at our bounty board. This week we have Radical Toaster, Krinko, Poin Sucks at Games, 3 kobolds in a trench coat wanted for selling illegal flying potions at the gate to Dragon's Breath, asking for 50 gold pieces per kobold upon capture, plus a 50 gold bonus if you can get the set. That's all this week, but a humble thanks to all of our patrons for their continued support. If you would like to support the show and hear your name on the bounty board, find us at patreon.com/Persephone's Tavern to learn more. Thanks guys, see you next time.